Welcome back, Agent. I trust Laplace's garden is treating you well? In what manner can I assist you? How do you know about that? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. First, answer me this. What is your interest in this matter? As much as I relish the idea of entrusting a stranger with sensitive and potentially incendiary information, I shall have to decline further comment. Perhaps if you were to help me out with recovering those logs I asked for, I could be more amenable to sharing knowledge, but let's put a pin in that for now, shall we? If there's nothing else, I would like to return to my deep breathing exercises. Don't we all? Welcome back. In what manner can I assist you?
What a lamentable... I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. Oh, I couldn't say. This isn't my college, as it were. I'm a vicar. I tend to people's philosophical needs and leave the management of the garden to others. And purloin from you such a perfect opportunity to serve the plan? I wouldn't dare cogitate on it. Besides, I don't know the first thing about such repairs. Why, I'd be more apt to electrocute myself than anything else. Through the plan, yes. Yes, I dare say you're right. This must be the true intention behind our meeting. Stand back now and observe the proficiency of a true disciple of the plan.
I think she's still breathing.
Oh, it's steaming.
You're back. Any luck with the sample? No need to wait for permission. Ask them. I was assigned to the Order as a girl, but never really found my footing there. Too unfocused, they said. A distraction to others. Then the schism happened and everything went topsy-turvy. In all the chaos, an agent from Sub Rosa made contact. She made me an offer, and I liked how the math worked out. If I had to theorize, Sub Rosa must have seen me as their in to the Order. And through them, I saw an eventual way out.
about the flowers here.
Exposing them to melodic sound waves on a consistent basis did affect your frequency.
And you controlled for the amount of carbon dioxide expelled from your mouth during these musical sequences? You're just
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
That's one. Become the center of attention.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
You have my thanks. My monitoring station has already informed me that the resistor bank is operating as expected. Such good work definitely deserves a reward. That is most unfortunate. but at least his sacrifice did help improve the operations per millisecond. I will include his name in the records for this repair.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. I must admit I first had doubts, due to your association with a cultist. But yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do, for yourself, for us, for Arcadia. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now.
There will be some comfort the next time one of my stumps seizes up.
This kind of collateral damage is precisely what I was hoping to avoid. But that is the past. We must look toward the future now. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, Third Presiding Bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, Supreme Calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Yes, by all reports it was. But the plan evidently has greater outcomes prepared for Vicar Levin. He is, at that. I consider him a close personal friend, and I cannot say that about many. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise.
Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours, for the moment. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. You could, but I fear you will be a long time waiting for the next selection. I have no intention of shuffling off this mortal coil anytime soon. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. Likely not. But it is the responsibility of every student to surpass their mentor in understanding and sentiment. And I can reliably assert that I have done that. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician. Sacking Tristan felt like an unstrategic decision, Commander. I mean, yes, he was a brainwashed, empty-headed yay-sayer. He was also a good weapon to have in our arsenal. Did you have something else to discuss? May all...
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
Whatever you need, Commander. Just name it. Sure. Oh.
And consume with Auntie's Choice.
If it ain't my favorite commander. Sure.
Business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you faceless and
Good luck, my
Don't let us
ameliorator.
keep you.
Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's Choice.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Delay the particularity. You'll feel ever so much better once your chronometric peaks have been abraded.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen...
I just had word from that old number cruncher on Cloister. Alden tells me you agreed to continue the work we began at Greater Tranquility Station. Grand. A collaboration between Auntie's Choice and the Order will truly reward all of Arcadia, not to mention the Order itself. If they partner with us, it's only a matter of time before they come to see that profits are a more tangible proof of progress than those unquantifiable theories they get lost in.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spa. All their secrets in hand, yes?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process. Well, got what we needed. Sometimes a body count can't be helped.
Better in the ground than in our enemy's employ. Nice work, my ameliorator.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology, and that will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Well, I appreciate the clarity, if not the lack of guile. For now, I suppose we'll remain uncomfortable bedfellows, if not ideological fellow travelers. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the Order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, I want to be 110% certain. Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting.
Good luck, my
Don't let us-
ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell.
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes! Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. Don't take that tone with me, little Agent So-and-so. I've strip-mined the assets of tougher sorts than you for far less. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology. Stop, please. If there is one subject at the forefront of my mind, it is the archive. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice. What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop. I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question. amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal. And so, because Auntie's choice is suffering a cut by not receiving full control over the archive, you deem it fair for the Order to bleed as well. Very well. I will not absolve you of this choice by commending it. But for the sake of these negotiations, we can move on. Do not expect further concessions, however.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's choice and Order standards. Oh, partiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
Auntie's choice is already benefiting from the Order's largesse regarding the archive. I see no reason to compromise a second time here.
You've succumbed to Ruth's little conniption, have you? By the architect's balls, have some gumption!
Pay her no mind. This is a wise correction. The Order will be a far more diligent custodian of this technology.
I disagree completely. Just look at how well the Order protected its own assets. Remember Golden Ridge? The archive? Besides, the Order will inevitably leave money on the table. Fine. I accept this accommodation as I am the very spirit of magnanimity, but be warned, this is the sole free concession you're getting from me.
There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. I'd be remiss if I didn't note that Auntie's choice also has scientists. Very good ones, in fact.
I am certain your scientists are adequate. But compared to Order minds, it would be foolish to pretend there is any contest.
My
my scientists don't perpetually dither with profitless theoretical impracticalities. They produce tangible, worthwhile results in short order, or else. Point taken. Very well. Let the Order shoulder the risk. A rational resolution is a joy to all. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice. I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom? That is, quite frankly, none of your concern. Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for. I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the Archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Certainly. I'll even extend our corporate partner's micro discount to Ruth as a show of good faith. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be. Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor. Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself. One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the Archive to consider. We'll of course provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo! Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the Archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Can't believe I just watched peace made between the Order and Auntie's Choice. Seems like a dream I'd have after eating too many woolly curds.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Ah, such wit. But moving on, we have a mission for you so vital to Auntie's Choice's survival that it should have been undertaken days, or even years, before now.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not, this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. Not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
There's a sub-facility beneath the automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
I'm just like you. Until next time, see you in the platinum executive style. Above the line.
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's Choice.
Be gone. Make yourself scarce. Leave.
Many rivals, but that original goal remains.
you're not a walking, talking bit cartridge, or even Angie herself, we have nothing to discuss.
Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice. Item, business is good. We have positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified. But we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive corporate malfeasance.
Step right up for the medical care money can buy.
Look for it. Next is a set.
Troublemaker approaching.
Investigating hostile intelligence.
A hell of a fight took place here. Guessing the Protectorate won.
You're the one responsible for us working with these short-sighted consumerists, hmm? Well, better additional than subtractional, I surmise. It is time, yes, that we commit our forces to your intended assault on Spyreton? Ooh, a change in plan. An unanticipated, strategic refinement. We shall await the signal, but should the situation deteriorate, we will intercede. Our scheduled reinforcements should be here in no time. I'm sure they'll arrive at the most optimal moment.
Feel free to use the workbench. Just don't break it.
Whatever you need, Commander. Just name it. Sure.
So, you folk just drop into a war zone?
If you're looking to buy, head inside. Just don't cause any trouble.
Come in. Let me know if you're looking for anything in particular. Making a profit? What else? War is very lucrative. Especially when you can sell to both sides.
Takes all sorts.
ready status.
I'm the one you need to worry about. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Vulnerabilities identified. Check your scope for combatant analysis. Transmitter down over here. On their weaknesses. I'll handle this.
Large is ours.
My academic rivals are no doubt sitting comfortably in probabilistic analysis and ossification right now.
No chance they'll take this place from us again. No how, no way.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Do these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards, and how many abakai does one outpost need?
I've been trying to calculate which is the worst disruptor. Unforeseen
throwing all
factors,
of it
random
away.
elements, or anomalous outliers.
Sealed. Protectorate's work, no doubt. Wasn't there supposed to be a way to unseal this near the archive's entrance?
Wait. The Protectorate have the entrance to the archive well fortified. Attacking straight on seems ill-advised. Before we go further, should we discuss a plan?
It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Not a bad idea, though I'd also suggest garnering backup.
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you.
Happily.
Falling prey to imperfect thoughts? Go now.
Prudence dictates we repel invasive elements.
I see an unfriendly source!
Let me know when you need a restraint.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
Spy movement! Talk!
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Ignore that. I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were meeting.
Greg on the string. Look at you today. Are you mentally refreshed?
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Hostilities are afoot. Go for torpification. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Landed on a hostile planet day 35. Brought to you by the... Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. You might call in reinforcements if the Spyreton lift controls were working. I happen to have its missing components in my possession. I might be convinced to part with them for a small favor. Some key legwork for a mighty hunter. Me, I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. Finally, give it here.
never gonna look at a sprat the same way again.
Sorry you had to see that. The parcels of victuals my neighbor sends over the tube have fallen off recently. Barely eaten for days. Sent me over a bunch of recordings, along with victuals. Offered some sound, if harshly put, advice. Looked out for me like no one's ever. Never even seen him face to face. I do so hope he's all right. Anyhow, suppose we had a deal. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved. For, company.
Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals. Coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Transmitter down over here.
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Energy transmitter active. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Combatant scan. Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Combatant scan.
Both our forces and Anti's await your command to proceed. Executing primary operation, now!
Always dreamt of coming here.
Caduceus not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined.
This gastric nightmare never cease. Just a moment. Forgive me. I found myself irregularly indisposed from one direction or the other.
Pardon us if we don't shake hands later.
Like many others, the latest batch of Crabble rations disagreed with my constitution. I was compelled to find the closest loo, quickly. Sadly, 'twere outside yon secured door. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Certainly. I recognize I am in no position to bargain, despite the fact it will no doubt earn me mental refreshment at best. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. When there were others here, yes. A shipment of Crabble rations caused widespread similar ailment. Some afflicted actually expired. If you'll allow it, I would leave now to seek out a Protectorate curativist, as I trust no other. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Be warned. You may find it a temperamental machine. Some maintenance may be required. Is there a Protectorate curative?
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Organizing replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. I am not trapped. I am not a person. There are no additional persons present. I am a composed simulacrum of a human being. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement, to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
Is it broken? Did you just break the archive?
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators.
If you're going to stand around whining forever, so best get started.
I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
When active, the archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of crabbles have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it.
Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
Potential allies in the Order would not like that.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Attempts by non-Order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. Inverting targeting protocols. There, any Protectorate still on the ground level is now being fired upon. Permissions within other areas of the archive are locked, however. It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant. The sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork. Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I've unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours.